Anyway, university, college, the whole shebang, it's like a lot lonelier than people talk about. Um, if you clicked on this video, you're probably, I don't know, maybe you're one of my family or something, hi. But otherwise, if you're just finding this, you're probably feeling alone or lonely, like I am right now. That's why I whipped out my little phone, started recording. I feel like no one really prepares you for the amount of loneliness that you experience once you leave high school. And so I thought that I would just maybe make this like a week in my life or something, just to kind of show that being alone doesn't have to be a bad thing. There's loneliness and then there's solitude. And I've been really trying to find the solitude rather than the loneliness. So come with me and I'm going to show you that being alone is not a bad thing. And I guess we can be alone together. So one thing that I've found through asking some of my friends here is that depending on if you have a roommate or not, that can really affect how much time you spend with people in university. In particular, I don't have a roommate, so I spend a lot of time alone. These people that I asked, a lot of them live off campus, and they were kind of saying like, oh, I spend about half and half, like half my times with people, half my times without. And one of my friends in particular said like, oh, if it wasn't for my roommate, I'd be alone 80% of the time. And honestly, like, when you really think about it, like, what is wrong with being alone? It's not really a bad thing, and really, you gotta get comfy with this, that you're not hanging around weirdos, because I found that when I had trouble being alone, I was constantly relying on other people for external validation, and those friendships that I had ended up being quite toxic for me. And in order to get comfortable with cutting those people out of my life, I had to get comfortable being alone. Granted, this experience happened like right before my first full year of university started, but still it was good practice. That's another thing too. I find that when you're early, like very early in your post-secondary education, then it kind of increases the amount that you're alone because you're still getting to know people and you're still trying to figure out like who on your campus is nice and who's like an asshole. You know what I mean? The day that I started recording this video, there was this like social work student that was in my school that was offering a meditation workshop because the school was doing this like wellness week thing, and I signed up for it. I was like, no, what that sounds cool. It's only an hour. I showed up, and I'm the only person there, and the person even said, like, you know, if you're not comfortable, like, I won't be offended if you go. But I was like, no, I'll stay. And I'm really glad I did, because the meditation bowl, it was a lot shorter than an hour, given that it was just the two of us. But it still really helped to clear my head and ground me. I wouldn't have had that experience if I had let the fact that I was alone deter me from it. That's another thing, too. I think that some people, they will want to do things, but they'll be like, oh, well, I don't have anyone to do that with, so I can't. And I understand this to an extent of like, you know, maybe you don't want to go to a bar alone because of safety concerns. Things like, if you want to go thrifting, you want to go to like a play or a musical. I've done that alone so many times because, girl, I love theater way too much to be held back by people not wanting to go or people not being available, okay? Wanting to go check out a restaurant or something, wanting to go to the library. I think sometimes people will hold themselves back because they think that they need to do things with people. And if they're alone, then they'll just stay at home. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with being at home, but at the same time, if you want to do something and you don't really have anyone to do that thing with, just go do it. Just go do it and have a good time. I think another thing, like another way that we hurt ourselves as well, is creating these grand expectations of what your social life is supposed to look like in university. I know that I personally went in thinking like, okay, like I'm gonna make like my forever friends. I'm gonna have like this like friend group where we're just like, we like bare our souls to each other and hang out every weekend. And I mean, and hey, like some people do have that, and that's fantastic. But also at the same time, I think it's also important to remember that if you do want that type of connection, it takes time for that to form. Not gonna lie, a lot of this video is me reminding myself of these things because I'm a first year and I really have a desire for making like those, not just the casual friends and acquaintances, but those close, intimate friendships. But I know that when I started high school, I moved to a new school for my 10th grade year, and it was during COVID restrictions, which it made it a lot harder to socialize. And as a result, I felt like I didn't really have, like, I had like kind of like the casual school friends, acquaintances, but I didn't really have the close friends that I was really attached to until around the second half of my 11th grade year. Even if it was just for a season. Because, you know, even though I mentioned before, like, I had some friends that weren't great for me, even if they weren't meant to stick around in my life, they still taught me about what I want in friendships and the kind of values and morals that I hope to find in the people that are in my life and close to me. I also find that being comfortable and confident in your solitude will kind of naturally attract friends. I remember having this conversation with this girl kind of at the start of the year. We were talking about Taylor Swift, how we're both Taylor Swift fans. She mentioned that she tries to keep her fandom, I guess, on the down low because she's scared of mentioning it to people and them thinking that she's like, I don't know, like crazy or something. Like, for those who know me in real life, you know, like, I'm a very loud and proud Swiftie. And I said to her, I like to make that very clear to people because if they are going to judge me for that, if they are going to have an issue for that, then I want to know. That way I don't have those people in my life. By the way, speaking of Taylor Swift, can you guess which song I'm dancing to at, oh, yes, dancing to at this part of the video? Maybe you can read it on my lips, maybe you can't, but if you can, comment and let me know. I will be very impressed. I'm trying this thing that I've seen called morning pages where, I mean, as you can see, I've just woken up and you like write down for like about 3 pages, like your stream consciousness thoughts. I don't know if I'm gonna do full 3 pages because I'm gonna have to cap myself in terms of time, but yeah, see how this goes. Journaling too is also, I found, a really great way to listen to your thoughts when you're alone and kind of almost like be a friend to yourself. Or if you don't like journaling, like whip out a camera, like what I've been doing. Start a little video diary and just vent and let it all out. And in a way, I find that when you're writing something that only you're going to read, you can like be more unfiltered because you don't have to worry about people hearing your feelings and invalidating you or feeling uncomfortable. And also, another thing too is that sometimes people just don't always have the capacity to listen to people vent about something like really intensive that's going on. So again, this is why I say like the only person, like the one constant that you will have is yourself, because you will always be able to come back to yourself. And so you should create a nice little home, a fun home, a caring home, a loving home. I think one thing that can make making friends in university and also simultaneously being alone in university really hard is worrying about what people think. And like, I know people say this a lot, like, oh, don't worry about what people think. And it's like, of course, it's harder to let go of than people make it out to be. I've been trying for probably like years now. I had go straight for a while, and it's like up and down, you know what I mean? It's a wave, not a line. I just had a little feeling kind of lonely, worrying people don't like me. And well, for one thing, it's like literally not true. Embarrassing. But also, even if it was, oh no, I like me. At the end of the day, you're gonna be the one constant throughout your whole life. And if you like you, then that's all that matters. And also, if you like you, then naturally you're going to attract people that will also like you. I think that's also why it's important to make the most of your solitude, because like when you are doing that and when you're doing things because you want to do them and not because, oh, well, the people are going to be here, then that's when you attract people. Like there's been times where I've gone to events alone because I wanted to go to them. So I turned up. And sure enough, there were people there that aligned with me, and we talked, and it was great. So yeah. With spending a lot of time alone, you're inevitably going to have down days, like the one in that clip I just showed. There were a few more moments throughout that week where I felt that same way. You're going to wonder if you could have been invited to that hangout and why weren't you, and are you doing all that you can to make the friends that you want? And ultimately, if you're watching this, I just want you to know that it's going to be okay. And I found that historically the seasons of solitude that I've had have lent to fruits of friendship. That was a really weird metaphor, but I hope that you get my point. Ultimately, yes, you do need connection. I think that friendship is something that people need. However, I don't think that it should ever come at the cost of sacrificing who you are. Because ultimately, even though relationships with other people are important, the most relationship that you ever have will be with yourself, because that will influence all of your other ones. No way. For anyone who has been feeling lonely, I hope this video has provided some comfort. And if you're not bigger in school, I hope that this has provided you some light watching during final season. I know I've done a lot of rambling in this video, but the point that I want to make the most is that it's okay to be alone, and there's ways to enjoy it. I hope that this video has shown you maybe some ways that you can do that, and kind of the more romantic side of being alone. Ultimately, that you don't have to find all of the friends right away. It's okay wherever you are. It's okay if you have a lot of friends or none. You will find your people, whether it be next week, next month, next year, 3 years from now. It takes time, and we're all gonna get there. And in the meantime, I hope that we can foster a nice community here together. So that's been this video. I don't know how much more I'm going to post on this. I don't know how consistent this is going to be. But I think it would be nice to do some more vlogging before the end of the year, and next year, maybe this summer. Who knows? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and found something valuable in it either way. Love you guys.